Welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time we explored the Stone Tower Temple, so this time we're going through it upside down. Now that we're on the ceiling, we can access new areas and reach treasure chests that were previously inaccessible. You found a stray fairy, this is your 8th one. We can also go over here to try to refill our magic, which is very helpful because we need a ton of magic in order to use light arrows for the rest of this temple. Alright, let's head over here through this door. On the other side of that sun block, we have a Deku flower and some exhaust, so let's equip the Deku mask again. Instead of using the Deku flower, I want to gain momentum and spin into this exhaust to try to carry us over to the treasure chest. Alternatively, you can use the hookshot, but I find it really unwieldy here, so it's easier if you can simply fly over to the chest. You found a stray fairy, this is your 9th one. From here, we want to jump into this exhaust and ride it up to a platform to the left. To get over to that treasure chest, we want to ride the current over to this area and then jump into the other current, and this one goes up higher, giving us a little bit of a better chance of actually reaching this really high up ledge. We also have to dodge all these mines along the way. You found a stray fairy, this is your 11th one. From here, we want to go through this passageway. Before we open that treasure chest, I also want to activate a sun switch over here. To get that one, we'll actually have to flip the temple again right side up, but we'll worry about that much later. For now, let's deal with the enemy and then go over and claim our prize. You got a small key, use it to open a locked door. You can use the key only in this dungeon. So all that's left is to fly up to the next door. Once again, we have to be a little bit careful about mines. Here we have a ton of tall walls, so we actually have to flip the room again. And then use the Goron mask to get across. Here, we have a slightly time-consuming puzzle involving taking a block and moving it to another part of this room. We have to flip the room a bunch in order to move the block around because there are high-up ledges that are just high up enough that we can't push the block. So, for example, here, we have to leave it and then flip it again. There are also enemies to help you refill your magic and arrows, which is helpful. So let's actually restock on magic really quickly while we're here, and then push the block all the way to the opposite side. This is definitely one of the more time-consuming sequences, and to be fair, Stone Tower Temple is one of the more time-consuming dungeons in general in Majora's Mask, and potentially in the series. This is pretty complicated, actually. Again, I really like it, but sometimes it does feel a little bit too time-consuming. Alright, so we have to nudge it forward just a bit more so it'll land on the ledge with the switch. Again, this just feels very extra at a point that we can't, like, push it all the way over there. For some reason, the sledge is barely too tall for us to jump across, so we actually have to equip the Zora mask temporarily. Let's also equip the hookshot for something later. And we have yet another Wiz Rope to fight, but luckily we have light arrows to speed things up. Alright, so 2 more hits should be enough to finish off this Wiz Robe. I like how, because we're upside down, the lava is technically on the ceiling and is falling. But also off-screen I learned that the Wizrobe that wields fire is actually resistant to fire arrows, unlike the one in the Snowhead Temple, which honestly makes sense. But next up, we have to hookshot over to this chest. You found a stray fairy. This is your 11th one. And we have another Deku Flower. There are also Poes in this area. Like with the big Poes, you can store their souls in a bottle, but they sell for less, obviously. You can also defeat them with arrows or by popping out of a Deku Flower, like so. Over here, we want to take this, hop into this Deku Flower, and then pop up to this ledge here. When we get to this point, we'll want to equip the Ocarina and the Stone Mask. We have a lot of enemies here, and I'd rather avoid them, so let's use Stone Mask to get to this switch. And let's make our way over to the treasure. You got a small key, use it to open a locked door. You can use the key only in this dungeon. With that in hand, we have to backtrack over to the Poe room. Luckily, we don't have to fly back across, since the door is on this side. We can actually unequip this now, but also we can use arrows to get past this room a little bit more easily. Basically, what we want to do is knock one of the mines into one of the other mines to clear a bit of a path for us, like so. And we should be able to fly across more safely. We also have a door over here. We're not going to worry about that yet. So we have to fly over to this alcove with the mine, and then use the next Deku Flower to make it all the way over. Overall, this isn't too bad. Again, there are definitely some very narrow time windows for Deku flights in this temple. This isn't too bad, though. I'm going out of my way to defeat the bubbles, as they're called, because I definitely don't want to get cursed right before what we're about to do. Here we have some more crates to refill our magic and arrows, so let's actually equip the light arrows while we're here. This is Gomez. What you want to do is use the light arrows to disperse the bats and then attack its core. This is actually a fairly scary mini-boss because, similar to the Garo Master, they'll counter whenever you attack, so be careful about that. Make sure to shield or dodge. But overall, beyond that, this isn't too difficult. One more hit should be enough. I'll be honest, on my earlier playthroughs of this game, I remember struggling a lot against Gomez, and I actually don't know why, because that fight was actually really easy. Maybe because I didn't know the trick of how to disperse the bats really easily, but overall that fight isn't too bad. But over here we have yet another treasure. You got the boss key! Now you can enter the chamber where the boss lurks. That is everything here, so let's make our way back over to... Actually, basically we're trying to get back to the entrance from here. Also, by the way, with the bubbles, if you attack them with a light arrow, they'll always drop a purple rupee. So this is a great way to get rupees quickly if you want to save up for a rainy day, which actually at some point we'll have to. Like before, let's try to use the arrows to clear a path. And let's fly over carefully since the bomb is still swaying a bit. That's making me a little bit nervous, but we should be okay. By the way, the jars here will attack you, so be careful about that, like if you get too close, but overall that's not too difficult to get past. So that door we passed by earlier is our next destination, so let's fly over and see what's inside. We are back at the entrance. We want to use the stone mask again, and also we should equip the hook shot. We have another treasure chest on the ceiling, so we can't get that yet. But luckily, it does give us a path forward, so we can hook shot up here and see what's inside. We have another one of these enemies. If I'm not mistaken, these are known as an Igor. Similar to the last one, we can use light arrows to very easily defeat it. I am not sure what happened there, actually. This one actually will perform eye laser attacks, along with its slam move from before. I think that stuns it. You got the Giant's Mask. Within this mask lies the might of a giant, but can you use its power anywhere? In the 3DS version, the Giant's Mask was actually moved. It was moved to the boss's chamber, actually, and in this version, it's actually optional. In the 3DS version, it is required, again, because the boss fights were all redesigned. We can't use it anywhere because, we can't use it anywhere because we need a lot of room, so we'll have to keep that in mind for later. We definitely want to use it in a bit, though. But for now, let's head through this door. That creates a treasure chest yet again on the ceiling. This is actually how we get to the boss door. We have to hookshot up to this ledge. However, we are still missing stray fairies because we have plenty of treasure chests on the ceiling, so we are going to go back for them. So at this point, we basically have to leave the temple again and then flip it again in order to actually get to the chests that we've discovered. So let's carefully hop down and then head outside. It's actually easier to flip the temple back upright. Basically, all you have to do is jump across here and then hit the switch again. Unfortunately, this means we also have to reactivate all the switches to even get back inside of the temple. And with that, we can make our way back inside of the temple. I do want to stop and break the jars just to restock our magic because we're definitely running low. Though to be fair, I don't think there's a ton we need magic for at this point, specifically since we got past all of the sun blocks already. And luckily, a lot of the elements of the temple like that are saved, even if you leave. First up, we want to drop down into this pit. You found the stray fairy, this is your 12th one. I hear the Bombchu, I don't know where it is, and that's slightly terrifying. We also have the dragonfly to worry about, so let's actually equip the bow to deal with this, so we can actually safely climb up. Relatively, I think there's still one more that could cause problems, but it'll be fine, I hope. We basically have to go through the same loop as before, starting with the west entrance and then looping all the way back through the east door here. So we have to go over here next, meaning we also have to go through the switch puzzle again, unfortunately. This time I think I'll actually take a slight detour to deal with the Bombchus first, so we won't have to worry about them as we're trying to activate all the switches. It is really interesting that the Deku Mask isn't really used for anything here, because of the mask, or the form being too light, but you still end up using it quite a bit. I feel like Majora's Mask in general does a really good job for its final temple, especially for making everything you've collected so far relatively useful. There's some things like, you know, Deku Nuts or Deku Sticks that don't really come up at all, but we use all the masks extensively. We use the hook shot, we use the bow, multiple types of arrows throughout the Akana region, so I actually find it really impressive how much this is a test of everything you've done up to this point. And once again, the final switch is over here. And we want to go through the previously locked door to the water area. Now we can actually break through the sun block. And we have to use a bomb to get past the Beamos. Let's also equip the Zora Mask while we're here. You found the stray fairy, this is your 13th one. From here, we want to swim back into this chamber, and we should be able to find another chest that we uncovered earlier. This is the one with the light switch there. You found the stray fairy, this is your 14th one. And from here, we have to cut back through the lava room, unfortunately, meaning we have to do the Deku Flight again. That should be this way. Luckily, everything here is still set up so we can simply walk to the other side. This might be one of the scariest rooms in this temple for me. Again, partly because it's very strict, the amount of time you have to fly over, and 2, you have the bomb shoe, and 3, you have this final area where I feel like I'm always about to barely miss this every time. Case in point. So now we have to awkwardly walk back. I actually didn't get enough of a curve on that, so I basically didn't manage to cut through that in time. Luckily, we didn't land in the lava, not that it would really matter, because it would actually be faster to be sent back to the beginning of the room. Actually, the bomb chute chest detonated, so that's actually good. It means we have a little bit less to worry about, actually. Alright, attempt number 2 at this flight. Again, trying to get a sharp enough turn to cut through where the bomb chute is, that's like the worst part. Like this section right here. And then actually having enough distance to make it to this fan. Again, it's not that bad, but it always feels like you're going to drop. And we're almost done here. The final stray fairy should be in this room. You found all the stray fairies. Quick, take them to their fellow fairies of the same color. By the way, you can actually use the Song of Soaring to warp. Alright, let's head back inside the temple, upside down, and then, we don't have much left of the Stone Tower Temple. Next time, we'll confront the final boss, or final temple boss, and free the last giant. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.